I was drafted in Raleigh. Ah, yes. I was drafted, sent to Fort Bragg, had basic at Fort Bragg, went to Fort Belvoir, Virginia for AIT, Special Electronics Repairman. I left there and went to Fort Bliss, Texas. Done all kinds of things down there. Then I came down for orders in Vietnam.
Everybody hears about the stepping stone of going into Vietnam from Fort Bragg. You got to start off there. What was that like?
Fort Bragg was all right. I mean, it's basic. It was funny. We had some. It was in February, and in fact, I was drafted the day before Valentine's, February 13th, and we had a lot of guys from the north, and they came down thinking North Carolina, it's going to be warm, and they about froze our buns off. But being a North Carolina boy, I knew what to expect, so it didn't bother me. We just found out that Fort Bragg was full of sand. You run everywhere as you went. But done our basic, then went to Fort Belvoir.
I think they would have gotten their eyes open if they had been there in August for their basic. That's when Fort Bragg is not so cool.
I haven't been to Fort Bragg since then. I've often wondered if the old barracks and all are still there, but I know it's a closed post, so it's just wondering.
What did you know about the military before you got in?
Nothing. Everybody knew about Vietnam. It was going on when I was in high school. It was going on after I got out. I'd gotten married, and I was married when I was drafted, so it's just one of those things. And when I came down on orders, said, what, we're going to Vietnam. We made plans, my wife to go back home and for me to go home. I landed, went to Fort Lewis, Washington. Left there, went to landed in Cameron Bay. Stayed, we get processed. Went to Quin Yon, was part of a security detail. The 4th Infantry was standing down. They were standing, they said they were. The flags went home, the guys got redeployed to other units. Government bull. But anyway, the guys didn't get to come home and thought the whole unit come home. No. We pulled detail there for them until December of 1970. I got in country September. December 70, I was sent to Pleiku, headquarters, 62nd Maintenance. And that's where I was stationed the rest of the time. Again, with special electronics, I worked on mine detectors, starlight scopes, night vision equipment, they call it now. Back then it was still secret. So we worked on that, radio equipment, whatever they brought in the shop if we could fix it. But,
I know you mentioned to me earlier that your position over there, you didn't feel like you were in the heat of the battle zone necessarily, and you felt different when you were around the combat veterans.
Yes, I do. I mean, the combat veterans, I have all the respect for. The only thing we would catch would be mortars and rockets. On our compound, they had the 330th Radio Research, which monitored airways, the Vietnamese, the Vietnam, the North Vietnamese, and everything else. And they would throw mortars in and try to hit the 330th. They never got close to our Hoots or our section, but most of the time they'd run out of mortars. They'd walk them suckers. They'd hit 1, 2, 3, just walking them in. And most of the time they'd run out before either they only had a few or they just went out or didn't have their spotter in the right place. But and every time they'd call an alert. We'd all pile out and get to the perimeter in case there was a ground that started coming in. Luckily, we never had a ground attack, but they would, every few weeks they want to play with mortars and rockets, scare the devil out of us. But other than that, we had artillery hill behind us in Pleiku. They would fire at them. Again, every time they'd fire at them, we'd all go on alert.
What was that like, though? Every time that alarm would go off, you knew you had to get out.
Well, we didn't have an alarm. You just hear the rockets come under mortars. You jumped. You grabbed. Most of the time it's at night or real early in the morning. You grab your rifle and head for the perimeter. Funny is a lot of the newer guys, they'd run out of the hooch and look to see what was going on. And, get the hell out of here. You're going to the perimeter. You're going to stand here and watch them come in on you? No. Go to the safest. I've always felt safer on the perimeter because they're trying to hit inside the compound.
What was it like when you had to tell your spouse, you told your wife, I'm going to Vietnam?
Well, I came down on orders, and I just went home and told her. I said, I got orders for Vietnam. We'd been married about 3 years at that time. It's my former wife. I think Vietnam had a lot to do with us parting ways. I was a little bit of a wild child when I came back. But, it was my duty. I had orders. I was going. At that time, and this is I was in the 70 and 71, a lot of people were getting out because they was married or had children or whatever. But I felt like when I came down on orders, I had to accept that and go. And I feel good about my service. I feel bad sometimes that I didn't see the combat that others saw, that gave their all. But then again, I done what I was told. I done my duty.
But those guys in the field, could they have stayed alive and kept going if you weren't in the back doing what you were doing?
That's what a lot of my combat friends keep telling me, but it doesn't ease that I didn't see what y'all did. I should have volunteered. I keep thinking I should have volunteered or done something. I had friends. One guy I went to school with, he got killed. And I think, I didn't do enough. And that's hard on me.
When I speak to my dad, that's one of the things he talks about is the guilt he has of the people who didn't come home. And the ones that he didn't, he felt they had to do something he didn't have to do. Is that, what is that really like? I don't understand that because I haven't had to experience that.
I don't know. I've lived with it all those years. It's just hard on me to think that there's 58,000 names on a wall that gave so much. I went the same as they did, but I gave so little, and it's hard for me. It's hard on me at times. Being a member of UNCTV and has helped me, but I still think the world of these guys. They all talk about what they did and what they saw and what they've done and what happened. I sort of stay quiet and listen. I don't bring up what I did. I don't bring up that I didn't have combat experience. But also they're all very appreciative of the fact that they did have support people over there, that they had somebody that made sure the mine detector worked correctly. Somebody who, when they had a starlight scope, or night vision as y'all call it now, as it's called now, that it worked correctly. Back then, they wasn't just a little pair of goggles. The night vision was it's like a big scope. So, but we always took pride in what we've done. We made sure it worked, and it worked damn correctly.
How was it coming home from Vietnam afterwards?
Happy. But flight back, we landed at Fort Lewis, Washington again. At that time, everybody got a ticket or something to go get a steak and all. They fed you good. My thing was, forget that. I'm going to call home. I want to talk to my wife, and that was the biggest thing on my mind was I'm home, and that all the pressure was off. She didn't have to worry. I didn't have to worry, and it was great to be home. We still, at that time, you had a lot of people peace marching and things like that. But, just go on and ignore them and go on, went on.
And where did you come to? Did you come back to Raleigh or Winston-Salem?
I flew back, my wife and her parents and all of us are in the Winston-Salem area. Even though we lived here, we had, we had moved home. She had moved back home. So we came back to Winston-Salem. And then after a few weeks at home. Then we found this place here because I was going back to work, because I had a job when I came back here. So we came back to Raleigh.
Is it easy to answer questions to non-veterans about your service?
Sir?
Is it easy to talk to non-veterans about your service, like your wife or your, do you have any kids?
It probably is easier, because if I talk to one of the guys in our unit or in our organization, I know they've seen combat and all. And it's easier for me to talk to a non-veteran, because I don't want them to know that, you know, I felt like I was a big chicken, but I wasn't. I done what I was told. I would have done whatever they asked me to, I think. So that is hard. It's hard on somebody who wasn't in a combat. To me, it's hard, because I should have. I have a brother that was a sniper, or stepbrother, and he was there at the same time. He saw a lot of action. And he and I still talk about it, but, you know, we talk about what he did, not what I did. I don't think I needed the help that some of the veterans, combat veterans, needed when they come back after what all they went through and done. It's been a lot easier for me.
What was it like starting that first conversation with your stepbrother after the war?
It wasn't hard. We both were in Vietnam. We both considered ourselves veterans, and to this day, I've really never said a whole lot to him about what I did. I talked to him to try to help him. I think he's got post-traumatic syndrome bad, and I'd rather talk to him and let him talk to me than me talk about what I did. I think it helps him more. That's what I'd rather do, is to help him.